Hello and welcome to the second edition of Chromebook News, the place to come to find out everything you need to know about the Chromebook, Chrome OS and the Chromebook. So one of the first pieces of news I found this week, which I found really interesting, is from Android Police. It's all to do with Google Photos and at the moment it is not part of the operating system, Chrome OS operating system. Yes, of course, you can install the Android app, and I think it even comes as standard now on your Chromebook. But when you actually go to your file manager, there's no link for Google Photos. So it looks like what's being looked into, it's still being developed, so it's not something that's out just yet, but if it comes out, it would be great. And what it will mean is you will have to install the app, the Google Photos app, but once that's installed, you can use that as normal. But when you use your file manager, where you've got your My Downloads folder and you've got Google Drive, you'll also have an extra option for Google Photos. So it will mean you'll quickly be able to find your photos in Google Photos, so you can use them for any reason you want to on your Chromebook. Maybe you want to use it if you're doing editing images and you wanted it. At the moment, what you'd have to do, you'd have to go into your Google Photos app, hunt down, look for it, and it does take you off what you was doing. So this new method, what it will allow you is just to do it all from the file manager, which sounds like a really, really good idea. So if you want more information, have a look at the link from Android News, which I'll link below in the video description. Now on to the second news story, and I found this also really interesting, and this is from aboutchromebooks.com. With the Chromebook at the moment, if you want to record the screen, you do have to go and use third-party software. Some are okay, some are not good. I use Screencastify and that's pretty decent if I'm being honest with you, but I do have to pay a subscription fee to use it. So it has been known for a while that the Chrome OS team are looking to include a video recorder so it records what's on your screen built into Chrome OS. So that would be a really good feature going forward. And if it's good, it means you will not then have to pay for a subscription to a third-party service. At the moment, it's still not out on Chrome OS. However, if you've got Chrome OS 88, you can use the experimental version. Now, the experimental versions do mean that there may be some bugs and it may crash. You'd have to check. And to do that, if you go to aboutchromebooks.com, and I'll put a link in below, it will show you how to do that. I tried to do it on my Chromebox, and it's a flag that you need to use, and you do that in your Chrome browser. I tried to do it on my Chromebox a few weeks ago, and it wasn't working for me. So it may be down to what device you're using. I've not tried it on any of my Chromebooks, maybe I should do. But yes, if you're interested in recording your screen and what's on your screen, and you're not really wanting to pay for a subscription, because yes, there's free ones out there, but the free ones usually come with like a print over the actual screen to show that you're using their software, which is not really what you'd want. You do generally have to pay for one of the services. So yes, if you want to do that, have a look at the description below to the About Chromebooks article. The next news story is sticking to what we will see with Chrome OS going forward. So this is native to the operating system rather than having to use third-party software. At the moment, if you wanted to see how much RAM your Chromebook was using and how the processor was performing, you would have to use a third-party software. The most popular one is the cog viewer. I have put a video on how you can check your RAM, and I'll put that in the description below, and that will show you how to install the cog viewer so you can check your performance, how it uses your RAM and how it uses your CPU, and that's in the description below. Now this story has come again from aboutchromebooks.com, and it's another experiment, so you would have to use a flag to use it. Again, there will be a link below if you want to look into that. And this is how Chrome OS will now, well not just yet, as long as you've got Chrome OS 88, you can check the experiment, and it will include a performance statistics inside your Chrome OS operating system. So you'll be able to check how the CPU is working, how much RAM is being used. So that's a really good thing, because although cog viewer is great, it will be good when we get to a stage where you can do all this from the operating system itself instead of having to install third-party software. So if you want to look into that further, have a look at the link below to About Chromebook. This next news story I found really interesting, and it's from Chrome Unboxed. And the reason why I found it interesting is because this is something I've had to be dealing with over the last few weeks. Now, if anyone's watched any of my videos, where I do my how-to videos where I'm using a webcam, you'll notice that the webcam isn't very good quality. Now, I'm not using a Chromebook, I am using a Chromebox. So I am using an external webcam, and I bought it a few years ago, and some of the reviews say it's great. I don't think it's that fantastic. You can have a look at my how-to videos and you'll see yourself. Problem is there's no autofocus, it's a bit grainy, it's not fantastic. So over the last few weeks, I've been looking to buy a new webcam, and I wanted a webcam that offered decent results. Webcams are never going to be as good as DSLR cameras, which I could no way afford anything like that, and it's not necessarily going to be as good as my mobile phone, which I'm using to record this on right now. However, webcams, the good thing about a webcam is when you're doing how-to videos, it's so much easier for people to be able to see your face, so they can also see what you're doing at the same time. And I had a real problem trying to find a webcam that actually would work with Chrome OS, and this was really frustrating. Now, like Chrome Unboxed says, you can buy webcams and plug them in, and they do work with your Chrome operating system, and that's true with the webcam that I do use at the moment. It does. You just plug it in and it works, but not all hardware will necessarily work with Chrome OS. And this is especially true with webcams, because a lot of webcams, when you look into the detail, it says you do actually need to install software to use the features, and the software is Windows and Mac, but not Chrome OS. And this created a real problem for me, because I wanted a decent webcam, but I don't want to be using my Microsoft computer when I'm doing a how-to video, because I'm showing you how to use a Chromebook. So this is something Google is well aware of, because if you're using a Chromebook, you want to buy hardware, but you don't want to buy hardware and then find out to actually get all the functionality from that hardware, you need to install software which is compatible with Chrome OS, which is a real pain. Now, like I says, you can still plug in a lot of different things into your Chromebook and it will just work, but it's the problem when if you're looking to buy something that says it needs software to get the best benefits, then that's when you might come across a problem. If it's not software like an Android app or something like that, and most of them for webcams aren't, they're still aimed at Microsoft Windows and Apple, then you will have this problem. So I've been looking for quite a while to find a webcam, and I have found a webcam, and I checked it on the actual website, and I can't really remember the name. I'm trying to think what the name, it was Logitech, sorry, yes. I checked on their website and it had there about works with Chromebook. So I was like, oh, well, that's fantastic. And this article from Chrome Unboxed, it discusses that exact thing. And it's that Google has now rolled out Works with Chromebook initiative. And what that means is you can be confident if you buy a piece of hardware and it says Works with Chromebook, you'll know it will work with the Chromebook. So that's a really good news story, and if you want to find out more, have a look at the Chrome Unboxed article, links below in the video description. The next news story, again from Chrome Unboxed, is something that I looked into earlier on in the week, and it's to do with YouTube Music. Now we don't have Google Play Music, we have to use YouTube Music or go to another provider such as Spotify or Deezer. There is a bit of confusion with YouTube, because at the moment, if you've used their app, if you go onto the Play Store with Google, on the Google Play Store, you will type in YouTube and it will come up with an app. Now you can download the app onto your Chromebook and it works fine, and you can stream with that as well to your Chromecast, and you can download music as well, which is fine. But they've also now included a new app, and it's a progressive web app. Progressive web apps, I think, are going to be the future, certainly I think for Google, because this isn't the only app that they've changed to from an Android app to progressive web app. And I don't know enough about progressive web apps why, but I would assume it's because they're easier to code. And they're not as hard to maintain as an Android app, but maybe have a look further into progressive web apps if you want to know more. But at the moment, if you do download YouTube, it will just download the normal Android app. But if you then go onto the Play Store and type in YouTube for Chromebook, you'll find a separate app, and that is the Progressive Web app. I've downloaded it. It actually looks quite good. The problem Chrome Unboxed revealed about it is the fact that there's no cast facility to cast it to your Chromecast, to your speakers, for example, or if you wanted to cast it to your TV using a Chromecast. There is the option to use it from the browser, so you still have the option, the three dots you get, and there is a cast option, but them cast options direct from the browser is never as good as a cast option within the actual app. And I think that's an issue that Chrome Unboxed are not very happy about at the moment. Now we're hoping obviously that will get better, but another problem with the Progressive Web app is it doesn't allow you to download your songs or albums. So at the moment you might want to use both. Why you'd want to use the Progressive Web app, it looks nice, it looks great, but if you're just looking to stream music to your monitor on your Chromebook, or your monitors on your Chromebox, then you can use the Progressive Web app and everything's fine. If you wanted to cast, or if you wanted to download music, then you would have to use the standard Android app. So it's just making you aware that there's now two separate apps for YouTube, just YouTube and YouTube for Chromebooks, and you'll get two separate apps. If you want to know more, have a look at the link below to Chrome Unboxed. All the information is there for you. Okay, and now we've come to the time of Deal of the Week. Deal of the Week is something I'm going to be doing new on Chromebook News when I release a Chromebook News video, and it will be a deal of what I think is a really good deal for a Chromebook, one for the USA and one for the UK. So first of all, let's have a look at the Chromebook, which I think is a great deal in the USA. It's the Acer Chromebook Spin 713 2-in-1 Chromebook. This Chromebook replaced the amazing Acer Spin 13, and that was a great Chromebook. This is the one released after that. It comes with an Intel i5 processor, 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. I found this at Best Buy, so you can go onto that website and have a look. At the moment, as recording this video, it's available for $529. That's a massive saving of $100. I'm not affiliated to Best Buy in any way, shape or form. I've just put a link below, so if you're after a bargain and you live in the USA, maybe this is the Chromebook you should be looking for. The great thing about this Chromebook, and I put this as the second best Chromebook in 2020. The only Chromebook which beat that, in my opinion, was the Pixelbook Go, and that's because the Pixelbook Go, it was more to do with what it offered from the fact that it was great to use on the move, and it's just such a great design Chromebook. However, this one you could argue is just as good, or even some people may say it's even better, because it's got better specs. It's got a 3.2 aspect ratio rather than the 16.9 inch widescreen, which is great because it means you get more on your actual display that way, rather than having the gaps here, the white gaps that you tend to find when surfing the internet. So this is a great Chromebook if you want a serious Chromebook to work with. It's got a 13.5 inch screen, and the resolution is 2256 by 1504. So it's a fantastic screen. So if you're after an excellent Chromebook, this is a top end Chromebook, $529, then head over to Best Buy, and I'll put a link below. And as I says, I'm not affiliated to them or in any way, shape or form. And now moving on to a great Chromebook deal if you live in the UK. I found this at currys.co.uk, and that's part of Currys PC World. I am affiliated with them, so if you click through on the links below to Currys and you purchase, then I may receive commission for that. And this is for the Asus Flip C434 Chromebook. Now we all know the Asus C434 Chromebook is a great Chromebook. At the moment they've got two on offer. They've got the Intel i5 with 128GB of storage and 8GB of RAM. That's currently on offer for £599. It's usually sold for £799. So that's a massive saving of £200. So that's a really good powerhouse of a Chromebook there. And again, it's still the Asus C434, but if you don't really need an Intel i5, you can save yourself £100. and go for the Intel M3 processor. However, you do need to bear in mind it comes with the same storage of 128GB of storage, but it does only come with 4GB of RAM. So you're paying £100 less, and the saving is £100 rather than the £200. It's £499. It was £599, but instead of an Intel i5 processor, instead of Intel i5 processor, you're getting an Intel M3 processor, and instead of 8GB of RAM, you're getting 4GB of RAM. So I would personally say, if you can afford it, spend the extra £100 and go for the Asus C434 with the Intel i5 processor. Okay, so that's the end of this second edition of Chromebook News. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like below and subscribe to the channel for future videos. And thanks for watching.